Welcome to Multiple Choice Question 1 of the 2008 Mathematical Methods Exam 2. In this video we will be looking at the solution and examination advice for this question. A reminder that this video is in no way endorsed by VCAA. So before we move on, I'd just like to point out that the use of the CAS calculator may be used to assist in answering this question. So for question 1, the area under the curve of y equals sine of x between x equals 0 and x equals pi on 2 is approximated by using two rectangles as shown. This approximation to the area is, and we have 5 options to choose between. So to calculate the area of this approximation, we've got two rectangles. And the first thing that we need to know is that the width of each, so that this width here, is simply pi on 6 for both rectangles. Now for the first rectangle, this height is equivalent to sine evaluated when x is pi on 6, and for this second rectangle we can see that the height of that is equivalent to sine when it is evaluated at pi on 3, and we can read those values off the x-axis down below. So therefore the area of this approximation is equal to the width times the height of each rectangle. So the width is pi on 6, and for the first rectangle we said that the height is given by sine of pi on 6, and then we add on to that the second rectangle, which has a width also of pi on 6 times its height, which we knew was sine of pi on 3 from before. So now we can use the CAS calculator to evaluate this, or if you had good knowledge of exact values you might be able to go through this by hand. On the CAS calculator, go into the main menu. Next we want to bring up the keyboard so that we can put in the required multiplication that we need for this question. So we want the fraction of pi on 6, which was the width of the rectangle, multiplied by sine of, and we wanted it evaluated at pi on 6 also for the first one. So just make sure that your settings are in radians and you're in standard before we go much further. And then we also wanted to add on a second calculation, and we can speed that up by dragging it across, and we have pi on 6 the width times sine of pi on 3 as the height of that second rectangle, and hitting execute gives us this result. So from the CAS calculator we can see that this is equal to pi over 12 plus root 3 pi over 12, and doing a little bit of factorising for ourselves we can see that pi on 12 is a common factor to both of those terms, leaving behind 1 plus the square root of 3. And now having a look at the options over here, we can see that C is the correct answer for this question. So from the examiner's report we can see that 73% of students got the correct option to this question, which is pretty well done at this level. And we can see that the most common incorrect response was E,